Now I need a clap.
Oh yeah.
I need a clap to sync it up.
Okay.
Off you go. Good stuff. That will do the business. Okay. Now, red light, red light. My name is Ray Wingnut, and I'm delighted to be joined by Kerryman Laurie Shaw, who releases his new album Helvetica this month. How's it going, Laurie?
Good. How are you, Ray?
I'm great, man. I'm great. Out here in the sunshine in St. Luke's in Cork City.
Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. Thanks for the tea. Listen, you are launching the new album. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
We're launching it on Friday, the 4th, but it's not out till the 31st. So it's kind of a bit of a baby shower.
Okay, it's a baby shower. No, there's bits and bobs inside in the kitchen there. Tell us about what kind of launch that this is going to be.
So it's going to be a bit of a village fete of a launch. We're going to have some programs with the lyrics, the new songs in, so people can sing along. We don't want them to feel left out.
Choir sheets, like.
Yeah. Yeah, so people can, know what I'm talking about. What else have we got? Some plates, some hand-designed plates, which people can eat their Victoria sponge off. And there's going to be a bit of bunting as well. Hopefully maybe some designed stamps for when people go in. But I haven't sorted that out yet.
Nice.
So apologies if people are listening and that didn't turn out to happen.
You promised the world, man. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I'm sure it's not going to be a regular.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I just ran out of time. I think there's a lot on my plate that last day.
Yeah, well, getting the CDs printed is a bit of an emergency.
Oh yeah, hopefully that happens. Yeah.
Now listen, you have just done filmmaking masters, was it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when you do go to a Laurie Shaw concert, very often you're greeted with some kind of comic book or something like this to go along with what you do. What do you think you can achieve with visuals and cartoons and stuff like that you don't achieve in music, and vice versa? What do you think you can get to in cartoons that you can't get to in songs?
Probably humour. Probably like actual comedy. Like I can do that. I think there's a bit of humour in me music, but it's not like I would never make like a comedy record, like. Whereas like if I'm drawing pictures of like you saw there, a picture of Aquaman, but it's just like a fish with legs, starring Jason Momoa. That's that's kind of like nice to do that, but I could never put that in a song, like.
Yeah.
In a song, has to be smart humour.
all right.
It has to be really intellectual humour. Whereas I like to do just daft stuff when I draw, like. Yeah.
So there's different levels of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of stories are you telling with the new album, Helvetica?
Well, it's kind of a journey through Great Britain.
Really?
Well, Britain. And it's through time, and it's kind of a collage of different time zones. It doesn't really matter. It's just all like, you've got people on horseback, and then the next line you've got someone in World War II. And it's like I'm sort of going through a personal journey through the sort of propaganda of nostalgia that is like like Brexit is kind of inescapable to talk about, but it doesn't necessarily have to be connected to that. It's more just like, it's just a wander through the geography, the landscape of the place, and how that relates to me as someone who's imprisoned in being someone from that place, even though I don't really know it that well. It's like a...
Do you think that's kind of changed over the years? Because let's say about 3 years ago, I would have interviewed you, and I went to your house in Kilgarvan, up in the mountains, and on posters on the wall were a lot of like North of England, like songwriting heroes. So Oasis would have been on the wall, the Arctic Monkeys,
Jabs Cocker,
you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So like, I mean, do you think like that you were coming from like a more of a kind of a teenage, kind of identifying with Britain? This is who I am. Whereas now you describe yourself, I'm imprisoned in a British body.
Yeah,
now.
like I think I'm kind of happy to be from where I'm from, because I feel like definitely like the Wirral anyway, where I'm from, just from going back there to see my cousin and stuff last month, for a festival, like they don't consider themselves as particularly British, and they don't consider themselves as like that kind of patriotism is really weird and a bit like has a bit of a horrible taste in your mouth, like. And I think that's all right, really. If I'm happy to be from there, but like, yeah, England as a whole, I haven't really explored it too much. I only really know the north of England, and I do like. I mean, I'm kind of happy to be from the same general area as those people, like like I say, Jarvis Cocker or like Jake Thackeray, because I'm big fans of their work, and there's something that kind of northern humour, I guess, and like that sort of observational stuff, I think, is kind of in me a bit, like. But yeah, that's cool.
And so, like, when let's say something like this is on your mind, how does do you kind of think like, do you know what, I'm going to make an album about this, or does it do you say to yourself, this is the only way I can make sense of this, or is it kind of like, oh, I'll show them when I write an album about this? What's the motivation behind it?
I'm not sure. It's kind of just it's a very very gradual one. So like this one started off with me thinking of the UK Office. You know The Office?
Oh, yeah, with David Brent.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan of that. A really big fan, as in like I've probably watched that about 50 times all the way through. And I just was... One day I kind of liked this idea of... I don't know if you've seen the film Wings of Desire by Wim Wenders. It's a German director. It's a really good film. And at the start, there's these two angels knocking around Berlin, and you just hear like overdubbed like all the people's thoughts who they're passing by, and like I like the idea of just this sort of... I made this like, I guess kind of a cover, like an initial cover for like a new album. I didn't know what it was going to be called or whatever, but it was just written out. It was just like OJ thingy from downstairs is like going out with her, and then like the next bit would be like, I voted leave, and then it's just like this long line, and it's sort of looked like a kind of an artistic piece using words, and that was how it started. And I was like thinking of some of the things they say in that show, and then I realised it was all written in Helvetica, and I thought, that was kind of a nice name for a record. So then I started it from there, and then it kind of grew into like this idea of being about Britain. But it could have gone either way, I guess. Like it sort of started to be an album about modern life, office life, not modern life. And then I was like, oh, actually, maybe this corresponds with, like, I like the juxtaposition of an office life where you're kind of a drone, so to speak, and then, you know, in like the middle of a city, juxtaposed with like a very large history of like the countryside just outside it. So I guess, you know, England was a good country to talk about in that respect.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it began. And then like, yeah, as I say, it was like a kind of an ebb and flow, like it always is, of me sort of doing like 10 songs, bring them back, have a listen to them, see how they sound. Then maybe like I'll go in this direction, and then after a while I had like 14 songs you get on the record.
Yeah. And what about when it says written by L.J. Shaw on the title, you know?
Well, that's just me trying to make it look kind of like a book or something. I like the idea of it looking like one of those Penguin books or something, especially with the photo on the front. That's a photo of West Kirby, where I kind of close to like where I used to live, and it just looked like one of those like old like Penguin classics, you know. And I just thought it might be kind of nice, like the idea of like this sort of this novel, because the record in a way is very wordy. Like it's not like there's words on everywhere. Like you can't get away from the words. So yeah, I just like that idea. I think of it looking like a literary piece. Like, you know.
Yeah, and yeah, like, and your stuff can be very lyric heavy, but then what I really admire about some of your work is your stagecraft. Because when you get on stage, like you're getting on stage at the launch now on Friday night, I presume there'll be some kind of tour as well when the album is out there.
Yeah, we're
But
playing Dublin and Limerick. Yeah.
your stage command is pretty significant. You know what I mean? I don't think you put yourself out there as a very kind of a boastful, like, you know, kind of a guy, or, you know, a very arrogant kind of a guy. But when you're on stage, it seems like there's a real sense of performance and there's a real sense of drama that you tend to embrace.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't really know how that came about. I think I've always liked people who have a bit of an interesting presence. I can't really be doing with this sort of like, I guess there's like different ways you can play it. You can do it like you don't talk at all and you just look cool. And you don't say anything to the audience. You just like let the song speak for themselves. And then there's a way where you go like, let me see your hands, you know. And I couldn't do that, you know. I say, you say, you know.
Yeah. So you decided to do a village.
Yeah.
A
Now
village
all the
face.
girls. You know? I couldn't do that, and then so I think like the idea of just playing it like maybe I shouldn't be up there, like someone who's kind of like always going like, "Oh, you okay? Like, does everyone have a good day? Everyone okay?" I think is
but then you
I can't
flip
do
it.
it now.
But then you flip it when you're performing. Like I think you know that as well. Like
Do I? Yeah, I don't really know what. It's a bit of a blur sometimes. Sometimes I kind of do. Yeah, sometimes I do like daft jokes, and then I look at me, see my girlfriend, just going, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, that was a stupid joke." like one time I went up and I blew bubbles in some still water and said, "Look, sparkling water." Like, I don't know if that's funny. Like, I thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure
at the
this
time.
is one of the things. Like, you know, you tell me about it, it's terrible. On the day, I'm sure it would have rocked my world.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, it's a weird one. I don't really know why I do what I do on stage. I think it's kind of like a nice juxtaposition, I'd say, between playing these rock and roll songs, which are really like fuzzy sometimes and really like heavy or whatever, and then just being like kind of polite in between. I think it's kind of hopefully it's kind of something interesting, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, looking forward to it, and the album coming out, and all the best with the tour and tonight. And anything else now we should know about Laurie Shaw in 2019?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think
that's
we
it.
covered it.
And then the camera picks up. Absolutely beautiful time. All right, man.